tension is rising as we get closer and closer to the war for mankind that is just ahead of us. This week on the MCU Rewatch, we are going through Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and Spider-Man Homecoming. We're getting closer and closer to those big, well-known and most anticipated Infinity War and Endgame. So we'll be there before you know it. Let's get started here with Doctor Strange. Good, the bad, and the ugly, as we always do. The good. The Ancient One giving Strange a bit more of his sass. So, as we learned quite early, Strange is quite the egotistical douchebag. So him getting a taste of his own medicine was nice. The movie did take a little bit to kind of build up for me. The Ancient One showing all the other dimensions. You see the first view of Dormammu, the Infinite Hands, all that kind of visualization that they did for that was really cool. We finally get the Time Stone, so we're even closer. I believe we're down to 2 stones left for the gauntlet. Maybe 1, but I think we're still at 2. I think we still got the Soul Stone and one other one. And then the cape just giving vibes from the magic carpet in Aladdin. How he kind of just helps out Strange, kind of flies around, does what he needs to do to help Strange be able to make it out of those fights later on in the movie. That was about it for the good. The bad, quite the douche canoe, as we said earlier. He is quite the douche canoe throughout most of the movie. Would have liked to have gotten a little more on his side early, because it took me a while to just kind of get behind him, I guess you could say. That was really about it. The ugly would be Caecilius and all his goons. They could have done the black eyes a little bit better. Didn't look that great in my opinion. And then we got our end scene / score for the movie. We have Thor having a conversation with Strange and constantly refilling that mug of beer. Thor eventually ends up telling him that they are searching for Odin, when Strange says, hey, you're one of the people I've got to keep an eye on. So it seems that they're on the same page, which is good. And then Mordo apparently is the bad guy. Gonna have to rewatch those later ones again, because I don't remember him being a bad guy by any means. Overall grade, though, we give it a 6.5 out of 10. Alright, on to Guardians 2. We got a lot for this one. In the good, we got just Drax in general. Drax is great throughout the whole movie. In the beginning, they're asking why he doesn't have the vest on. He makes a comment about having sensitive nipples, which is hilarious. And then later in the movie, they put a suit on him and shoot him off with the vest on. And he says, my nipples. That was pretty good callback. I thought that was done really well. Baby Groot dancing in the front while they're fighting in the back in that initial fight with the protecting the batteries. That was really cool. Good visualization, and Baby Groot's just adorable. Howard the Duck shows back up, which was really cool. Continuing Drax, just his level of stupidity is quite funny. Taserface, that initial interaction with him and Rocket was great. And I loved Rocket's response. What was your second choice? Scrotum hat? that was a good one. I love Rocket myself. The Drax and Mantis, they just have a vibe. And I personally love the two of them in the same scenes together. I love they both have similar stupidity, or I guess ignorance, I guess you could say. The Watchers make an appearance, and then Stan Lee mentions being a UPS or FedEx driver, referencing Civil War from the end credit scene. Groot and Rocket with the bomb, the back and forth between them was great. What else we got here? Rocket asks for tape. So you see the two of them, and then you just hear in the background Quill asking everybody if they got tape. That was pretty great. Mary Poppins, y'all. That's an iconic scene from Yondu. Yondu's redemption arc was great. I loved how, in the end, he got the Ravagers' respect and they realized, hey, he's not a piece of shit. That was kind of good. That was kind of nice. It was a full 360 from what we thought about him originally. The Zune replacing the tape player, awesome touch. And the soundtrack was really good, but not quite as good as the first one. So that was awesome. I love the soundtracks in all the Guardians movies. Top tier soundtracks. On to the bad. The aim of the sovereign citizens in their simulation ships where they're at the base flying around. They can't seem to aim. I did not like that Ego gave Quill's mother the tumor. I don't like that he purposely put it there. I don't like that touch to it, personally. That's just... We didn't need it. Him leaving his mom was enough to hate him. So I don't think we needed that on top of it. We got another one of those spinning 360 camera scenes where everybody's fighting and you're just going around the whole group. So just reusing stuff and recycling stuff is getting boring. On to the ugly Taserface, of course. You would just think with that name. Ego really just spreading his seeds into everything. He didn't care. He was like, I made a baby with anybody and everybody. Had to see what would work. And then on to our end credit scene. We get Kraglin trying to learn how to use that arrow. Shoots Drax in the chest, which was quite funny. One of the Ravagers had what looked like Doctor Strange's magic. So that was cool. Wondering if we'll get a throwback to that at some point. We got an Adam Warlock tease. And we got Teenage Groot with a messy room. Kind of showing that, hey, Groot's growing faster than we know it. And my overall score on that is going to be an 8.0. 8.0 on Guardians 2. Great movie. Not quite as good as the first one. And now, we're on to Spider-Man Homecoming, my personal favorite superhero. So, I think just this comes right out. We're just going to start right out with the hot take. In this one movie, Tom Holland did more for the Spider-Man character and is the best live-action Spider-Man of all time. That is my take, and I stand by it. I will die on that hill. So let's jump right into it if that's the case. We got the good. Starts out, we see a video of Peter recorded from his adventures in Civil War, which was kind of cool. That was nice. Guy sees him on the street. Hey, you're that spider guy from YouTube. Do a flip. And he does a backflip. We're getting pure Peter Parker here. And that's what I love about the movie. Ned is an S-tier friend. Has to know everything. He cares. He's so excited that Peter is Spider-Man. And I love that for Ned and Peter. I also love that this movie focuses on Peter, not really Spider-Man. We've never kind of gotten a true Peter Parker story, I feel like. Chasm 2, I think it was. They kind of went into his parents, his dad, and kind of got a little more into Peter, but it didn't feel like we were seeing Peter Parker. So I love that. Excuse me. The suit mocking Peter at one point was very funny. Had a little bit of Tony Stark's little snarkiness built into it, because obviously built by Tony Stark. We get like this. The MJ in this is not your typical Mary Jane, which I kind of like. She's got more of that like emo kind of depressed vibe to her. reminds me of just my days in high school. So like having that emo, depressed sense of humor is great. I would say more dark humor, I guess, not really depressed, but yes, more just dark humor. Not the clean cut red hair that we're used to with MJ. We get Aaron Davis, who is Miles Morales' uncle, played by Donald Glover, who voiced Miles Morales in, I believe, his first iteration of being created. We get Scorpion, who's a great villain. I love the Star Wars or Spider-Man villains. That was a lot of why he became my favorite. The fairy scene was really cool. We get to kind of see what Spider-Man's really like and how flawed he can be, which is great as well. So we see more of that. I don't know if I can, like, I can, but when he tries, he's not quite ready. So seeing him fail was great. Michael Keaton makes a great Vulture, by the way. He's amazing as is, but excellent job playing Vulture. Really nails the, I guess not the persona, but just the body language and how Vulture thinks was done really well. I love when Happy's trying to talk to Peter in the bathroom of school, and there's just an awkward kid that walks out and walks in between them. That was quite funny. We learn the New Avengers complex is finished. Peter becomes an Avenger finally, but turns it down. So, wants to be more of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So I kind of like that, but when we get to the next movie, we'll see that's, you know what I mean, not really the case, but... And then the movie ends with May finding out that Peter is Spider-Man. Cuts. We get no conversation, nothing about it. Perfect way to end it, in my opinion. Because now we know, hey, going into this next movie, that's what we're going to be kind of learning about, is her feelings about it, how she reacts to it, things like that. On to the bad. There's only a few here. This is supposed to be after he's had his powers for a while, so you would think he's really familiar with his abilities. Doesn't seem like he is early on in the movie. Still kind of seems that he has no clue what he's doing. But as the movie progressed, I guess that was meant to just be an overall theme. He was viral on YouTube, so why don't cops know about him? That's a little weird. You would think, hey, if he's viral, this would have been all around the police station. Peter ditched Liz at the dance, and then later in the movie called her his girlfriend. That's not really how that works. And the one last bad thing, Spider-Man doesn't throw a single punch, I don't think. At most, he throws 2. So that was a little weird that we got a Spider-Man movie where Spider-Man doesn't throw any punches. So, let me know if I'm wrong on that, but I don't recall him throwing any punches in that movie. No uglies for me on this, because this movie was excellent, near perfection. The end credit scene, we basically just get Scorpion confronting Vulture in prison. They're both going to go after Spider-Man, so this is where we're assuming we're going to eventually get a Sinister Six. We should have that, I would think, hopefully in this new movie coming out, but we'll find out. My grade for this is a 9.0. Almost gave it a 9.5, but there were some things that could have been better. So 9.0 from me on that. Let me know your scores. Let me know your comments. Let me know if you agree with my hot take. And as always, we shenan once, we will shenan again. We'll catch you guys next time.